Talk about the moon. All right. So, the moon, we all know it. We all love it. Very popular amongst the peoples. So, the moon specifically orbits the Earth, whereas all of the other planets are orbiting the sun. Moon orbits Earth. All right. Earth orbits the sun, moon orbits Earth. So, how we see the moon depends on our position on Earth and then what phase the moon is in. So, sometimes it'll be full, sometimes it will be new. This is something to actually, I think, is really interesting to conceptualize. So let's say that you are standing here. Actually, let me draw. No, you got it. All right. So you're standing here on Earth, okay? And you're looking out and you see the moon and it's in alignment with the sun. That means it's going to be a new moon, okay? And that means it's going to be dark. But if you see a full moon, you'll know that you are between the sun and the moon on Earth. So it's going to be in opposition from the sun if it's a full moon, whereas if it's a new moon, it's going to be a conjunction with the sun, like from your vantage point on Earth. So that might make sense to some of you. Others of you, you might be like, what are you talking about? Which is fine. All right. So the moon is far from Earth, but like relatively very, very close in comparison to everything else. The moon has a very small core. It has a very thin layer of an atmosphere, a layer of dust essentially, and traces of water have been found on the moon before, so we do know that there is water there of some sort. In what capacity, not entirely sure. The moon's gravity pulls on Earth, causing the rise and the fall in sea levels, aka what we consider to be the tides. So, depending on which phase the moon is in, the tides will respond differently. Also, we have a lot of water within our bodies, so there's a lot of correlations to naturally occurring energies involving the moon. And then the moon, the pull of the moon slows the Earth's rotation. And feel free to click here for an information source if you would like to learn more about that. All right. So, the moon is referred to as a natural satellite, which, if you think is sus, then yeah, I would agree. That is pretty sus. So, some ancient communities believe that the moon was a bowl of fire, while others thought it was a mirror that reflected Earth's lands and seas. But ancient Greek philosophers knew the moon was a sphere. They at least knew this. There was a sphere orbiting the Earth whose moonlight reflected the sunlight. So the moon does not light itself up. It is quite literally the reflection of the sun's light off of the moon is what you are seeing. So the moon doesn't have like a natural way to light itself up. It's just the reflection of the sun. So again, some ancients considered this to be a giant bowl of fire, while others thought it was a mirror. So there's a lot of interesting ways to look at it. From my studies, I've learned that it is a mirror slash prism in our holographic reality, but that might be for another day. If that's your day and you're like, I want to learn about that, just drop me a little comment there in the YouTube video and I will link you to my discoveries because it's very interesting. So this is just an infographic about the moon if you would like to learn a little bit more, but let's see. So astrologically then, what do we look at when we consider the moon? So the sun obviously is going to be very bright outward energy, whereas the moon again is going to be more reflective energy. This is more internal energy then. So this can depict our emotions, our emotional processing, our shadow side, our more subconscious energy, our feelings, our moods, our instincts, habitual patterns. The moon can also indicate or give us insight to our spiritual nature, our psychological nature, our intuition. The moon can also show us what in our natal chart, it can show you your relationship with your mother potentially as well, or your father, depending on like where it's linked to, but whatever. And then psychic connection too. So within astrology, the moon does rule the sign of Cancer. So Cancer and the moon will kind of be besties. Like Leo rules the sun, whereas Cancer rules the moon, or vice versa. So very, very different energies here, but very interesting nonetheless. So wherever you have your moon placement will be which zodiac sign it's in, which house it's in, and then also because we're looking at things with astronomic astrology, you are going to see if you have any alignments, degree alignments to different stars outside of just the traditional zodiac constellations as well. Let me know in the comments your moon placement with the degrees. I would be very curious to know.